Dr. Fauci is getting some shots fired at him from Senator Josh Hawley. I don't know much about this, so let's learn together.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
Cowardly, bro. Because he was talking with a real loud mouthpiece when COVID-19 was around, bro.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
What's your body count? On the advice of counsel, I would like to plead the fifth,
To the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic you got rich, didn't you?
And see, that's the awful thing, dude. Apparently he got mad rich. So I had ChatGPT basically type up kind of like what's the premise of all this and what are they talking about. So numero uno, Dr. Fauci was questioned by Congress about his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, right? Lawmakers focused on COVID-19's origins, including the lab leak theory and U.S. funding of research in Wuhan. Fauci denied the funding research that created COVID-19 or misleading Congress. He defended vaccines as effective, but said vaccine mandates were largely decisions made by governments and employers. He acknowledged some early guidance, like the 6-foot social distancing rule, was based on limited evidence as the pandemic evolved, and Republicans criticized transparency in pandemic policies, while Democrats defended Fauci's actions during an unprecedented public health crisis. The hearings did not determine the definitive origin of COVID-19, but underscored ongoing political and scientific debate. So that's really kind of the 30,000-foot view of this.
You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally.
I remember they was giving out burgers and fries. If you wanted to get a COVID vaccine, you could get a burger and fries. And I'm trying to fact check as much as this, but apparently his net worth around COVID was about 7.5 to 8 million, and estimated household net worth by 2022, 2023 was around 11 to 15 million. Most recent estimates say his household net worth is around $27 million. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you make 20 million in about 7 years. That's a lot of money. Like he tripled his net worth in a very, very short amount of time.
Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Your chief of...
What I don't understand is how we can get people, like, why even bring this guy all the way to the Senate if he can just plead the fifth? And apparently he does this 111 times. Imagine you lie to your girl 111 times. It's over. You know what I mean? Where were you last night? As the advice of counsel, I plead the fifth. I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege. Bro, anything you do 111 times where you're denying or you're trying to avoid accountability, it's just like, wow. Like, in my opinion, in chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. If you have nothing to hide, why would you need to plead the fifth?
Staff is the answer. Do you remember Patricia Conrad? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
She was your personal assistant. And what were these individuals doing in the depth of the pandemic in November of 2020 when millions of Americans were suffering from COVID? What were they doing? I tell you what they're doing.
They were in Ibiza on a boat.
Volkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right here,
right
snap. Over my shoulder.
He brought
Volker
receipts.
says, I'm working on this nomination for the Dan David Award for Fauci. We need to beef up the COVID part. Do you have language in the can that you could share that delineates how we responded in new ways to COVID? He sends this to multiple federal employees.
This man printed off a 5x5 receipt. That is crazy. Where he went to the sign store to expose him, bro.
What was the Dan David Award?
Who's the baddie in the back? Who that? Who randomly? Just a Russian 9.
Employees. What was the Dan David Award? Do you remember, Doc?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash award. $900,000 cash award.
God.
And he got it because he used...
You want to talk about cash awards? You guys could go download free cash and get $10 on me. You can cash out when you hit about 20 bucks. I got a guy in the Discord that's made over $2,000 with this. Even if you guys don't want to play the games, I'm trying to be the numero uno guy with the most downloads from free cash. But 17 minutes average time to earn your first cash, 22 bucks average withdrawal sent yesterday. They've sent out over $300 million. You can choose a slew of different games. Like I said, I'll get you halfway. I'll get you halfway there. Halfway there. Oh, living on some free cash. They need to pay me for that song. But you scan that QR code, click the link in the description. You'll get 10 bucks. This is a dude in my Discord who's made over $2 freaking grand. Don't say I never done anything for you. Ain't that right, Lokes? Ain't that right, buddy?
What a good boy.
You guys are sick, man. You guys are sick.
Federal employees to get it, and this wasn't the only award. Was it, Dr. Fauci? In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time using federal employees and federal resources. Here they are over my shoulder. Besides the Dan David Award, you've got the Partnership for Public Service, you've got the Adelson Prize, you've got the Smithsonian Award, you've got the National Academy of Medicine's Award, you've got the CDC Foundation. In fact, you turned your staff into...
The CDC Foundation Fries Prize. Was that the Burger and Fries campaign they did?
A full-time application machine. You actually wrote to people and said, do you think maybe I'd qualify? And you got cash for all of this. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 employees, was it? In fact, you used 8 separate federal employees on federal time using federal resources to solicit cash awards. Isn't that true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Here they are right over my shoulder. Here's all of them. The people that you use, federal employees, so that you could go and get cash money. And the most hilarious part is that you weren't content to even dragoon them into applying for all of these cash awards. You then had them go out to the ethics agencies and ethics watchdogs and demand that you be able to get the money. That's right. We've got it in your emails. Your staff and employees on federal time, using federal resources, being paid with federal dollars, are soliciting cash for you. And then
Fauci's self-dealings. Tony's assistant routinely tells the sponsors as soon as NIAID is notified that Tony is an award recipient that the cash prizes need heightened review. And we don't just want to say no. We want to try to get to say yes. Yes takes time.
they're turning around and saying to the agency, we don't want just an answer, we want to get to yes, because Fauci wants the money. He wants it. We want to get to yes, and yes takes time. This is your chief of staff again, using federal email to pressure the agency's own ethics people so that you could get money, so that you could get rich.
And which he did. He about tripled his net worth. I'd like to do that in about 7 years. That'd be cool. Right, chat? Wouldn't everybody like to do that? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Would you like to triple your net worth in 7 years?
It violated the law, didn't it, Dr. Fauci? Didn't it? It violated the law, didn't it? Is that a question? It is a question. You can answer. Go ahead.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Federal law, as you very well know, prohibits the solicitation of cash awards or other personal benefits for federal employees. And it certainly prohibits using your own employees to do this. 5 CFR section 2635-205B. It says it right there in black and white. You cannot use federal resources, federal dollars, federal employees, federal offices, federal email, federal time to solicit cash awards, and you did all of it. And the worst part is thousands of people were dying while you were doing it. You were
How do you not get in trouble for this, bro? Like, I'm being, like, for real though, my dildo. How is he not in prison for doing this? People are dying. COVID-19 was killing a bunch of people. This man's over here raking in money hand over fist and nobody does anything. Nothing happens to him. Dude, if I don't pay my taxes for a couple years, my wages get garnished. Well, if I run a red light and they got a red light camera on there, I get a ticket mailed to me. I'm driving on highways and going on toll roads and I get mailed a toll bill. You're telling me this man tripled his net worth in 7 years. Nothing has ever been done about it. And he's just sitting here allowed to just plead the fifth. I guess this is why I just need to get into politics, chat. Should I get into politics? Running in your local municipalities? Levi Nichs for Senate. I just feel like these guys can get away with everything. This is wild to me.
supposed to be the nation's doctor, and you're playing one on TV, but this is what you were doing with your time.
He's the Dr. Oz of political... He's the Dr. Oz of political doctors. That's him. You drink this shake to lose 10 pounds in 1 week.
Isn't that
Just take this vaccine to die sooner.
true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
And what's so crazy is, dude, like, especially the left, they were saying Dr. Fauci was a saint. He was a godsend. He was doing the Lord's work. Well, I guess the Pastafarians' work, because a lot of them aren't Christian. But they were saying he was doing everything. Dr. Fauci, he's saving us. He's doing this. And now we find out he's corrupt. Are we really kind of surprised? Didn't Sneeko get, like, demonetized on YouTube for talking about Fauci? And that's why they remonetized him, is because he eventually they found out he was right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see why. I can certainly see why. You know what I can't quite figure out is that why you were so obsessed with it, because you're already rich. I mean, and your scheme worked here. I mean, your net worth now is north of $12 million. You got over $1 million in cash awards during COVID, during a 12-month, 24-month span during COVID. $1 million you knocked down in cash money using federal resources. Now you're worth more than $12 million. You've got a pension that in its first year paid out north of $400,000 a year. 1 million people dead, you're getting rich. 1 million people dead, you're using federal employees to get cash awards for you. 1 million people dead, and you're here taking the fifth because you don't want to admit that what really happened in all that time was a multi-month, multi-year course of self-dealing. Isn't that true, Dr. Fauci?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Yeah, well, silence is admission. And here's the real thing. At the end of the day, it wasn't just about the money, really, was it? It was really about a power trip. I mean, through all of this, you want to be the most famous scientist in the world. You were so focused on getting every award and every drop of cash that you could, all because you wanted to be on TV. You wanted to be the sun god of science. You wanted to be the guy who was in charge of it all. You wanted to lambast Trump. You wanted to make sure that nobody else stole your spotlight. You wanted to be the guy. You had time to sit for InStyle magazine. Here's what you were doing with your time. You could sit for InStyle magazine, but you can't answer questions for the American people. You could sit for InStyle magazine, but you're here taking the fifth. You could sit for InStyle magazine and get $1 million in cash awards, but now the cat's got your tongue. I bet.
He's posted up chilling too. The good doctor. Look at this holy LARP, dude.
He does. I tell you what, here's my conclusion from all of this. This was really all about you the whole time. Somewhere along the way, you lost your way. You may have been a good public servant at one time, I don't know. But what I can tell you from reading your emails now, from looking at what you did, how you used your employees, somewhere along the line, it became all about you. You became a narcissist and a megalomaniac and a liar. And you've lied to the American people, and you've lied to this body. And you've disgraced your profession by doing it. You called yourself the most famous scientist in the world. You've done more to harm science than anybody in my lifetime.
Shots fired!
Golly. Holly was coming out for blood. But he did plead the fifth 111 times. One thing I found that's very suspicious with this, though, and we see this a lot. Dr. Fauci, Oppenheimer, some of the most famous scientists, some of the most brilliant minds, seems like they always get tainted to do something horrible. You know, you think Oppenheimer ever thought, man, I really want to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki. No, he was trying to do some scientific advancements that hadn't been seen yet, right? And I don't know if Albert Einstein had anything to do with that, but Oppenheimer eventually killed millions of people, and people patted him on the back for it. Dr. Fauci, kind of the same thing. Killed a million people. Million people died, bro. It's insane to me. Got a pat on the back for it. Good job. Great job, Fauci. Let's just look. I just want to look at the numbers. How many people died during COVID? Oh my God. Okay, it's even more. Officially reported COVID-19 deaths worldwide. About 7 million people. Estimated true death toll, excess mortality, approximately 15 to 22 million people, depending on the methodology and time period studied. These estimates both include people who died directly from COVID-19, people who died indirectly because healthcare systems were overwhelmed with care was delayed. Worldwide, 7 million. Worldwide, 15 to 22 million. In the United States, 1.2 million deaths. Wow. It's a lot of people, dude. It's a lot of people. And if anybody was going to do this in any other regard, I wonder if do you consider that a genocide? Is this considered a genocide? I wonder if it is. Maybe because it's a virus or something, it's not. Let's see. Genocide, because I don't know the exact definition of genocide. We learn here, chat. We learn here. Genocide is an international crime defined as specific acts committed with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. Okay. No, COVID-19 itself is not generally considered a genocide. Okay. No, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. But I just think it's wild that this dude can get up here and scream. He can scream at him and tell him and like try to call him out, but then Fauci ain't got an answer to nothing. I think that's the most disheartening thing, is that nothing happens, nothing ever happens. Like something bad happens, nothing gets done about it. It's truly sad. I mean, we live in the greatest country. I'm not saying we live in a bad country here at all. But just to see that nothing ever happens about this stuff is wild. All right, let's get into the comments of yesterday's video. They're finally realizing, ooh, look at this. I got the new screen for you guys. I hope you guys like it. Actually, let me move this one down a little bit. Let me move this one down just a smidgen hair so you guys can see my ugly mug a little better. There we go. Look at that. Boom. Bang. Okay, you're killing me here. I need this moved up, dude. There we go. All right, nice. Is that better, chat? Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, that feels a little bit better. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, maybe right there. Okay, maybe just a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit more. All right, cool. That feels good. That feel good, chat? All right. Please don't allow it back in the U.S. This is the trans person that left thinking it was going to get better. The stupidity runs deep. He saw actual danger and still shat on America. Ban him from returning. Let's see here. Please don't allow it back in the U.S. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, wow. I need to change this too. All right. Top of the comments are right there. Or actually, let's do it. Okay, yeah, let's do it like that so I can actually see what's going on. There we go. All right, cool. That's a little better for me. Appreciate your patience there, chat. Stupidity runs deep. He saw actual danger and still shouted America. The mental health is now being recognized. Yes, it is. They're all just missing a helmet. Oh my God. Not only is there no mental illnesses or an illness the left won't embrace, but there's no sexual dysfunction on the left. The no sexual dysfunction the left won't embrace. The more disturbing of either. I agree with this, Tim. This is something that's very odd to me, is that no matter what your preference is, it's accepted. That's weird. As G.K. Chesterton wrote, when a man ceases to believe in God, he will not believe in nothing. He will believe in anything. That's very good. It smells like Cheetos, sadness, and lots of BO. Both the insanity and stupidity that plagues this country is frightening. In America, you can go to an emergency room and be treated. They buy the lie. Not only do they buy it, they use it as a butt plug. Oh my God. Not worried. They made their choice. Choices have consequences. The book of Mark explains it all. My name is Legion, for we are many. This is the result of lost and godless society. My pronouns are me, myself, and I. Loki to Woki. The grass isn't always greener. Transportation. Oh, the insanity. My mental health. The German leader in the 1930s had a final solution to this mess. Oh my God. 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. Therapists deal with the multiple identities a lot. What you see are those who cannot afford therapy. This is so true. It's ma'am. I believe those who identify as they most likely have a legend of demons in them. We are legions. My pronouns are straight normal. They want to make a statement and screwed themselves. Loki the Wokey, all that good boy. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Loki is green screen today. So I've been feeling bad. I've been making him like sit in here and record videos with me when he wants to be sitting out there with Baby Nichs and Cass. So I've got the green screen for him just so you guys still can see him. And I mean, he's still here, but he's just out there kicking it with them. It's cool to see Baby Nichs kind of like start to like she gets entertained by him, and they play fetch, and I don't know, it's cute. So I feel like I feel bad having him in here. So we'll be doing some green screens, but ain't that right, Lokes? Free, sit, shake, good boy, wait, free, go to your place. But yeah, man, this is wild to me. And if you stuck around this long, put Fauci fraud in the comments. Put Fauci fraud in the chat. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys out, man. Until next time, peace. Levi Nichs Show.